Browns fans, listen up. The mandatory minicamp has officially wrapped, but the biggest mystery in Cleveland is just heating up. While everyone is talking about the quarterback room, the truth behind the competition is way more intense than we thought. Is our signal caller finally stepping up, or is this position battle drifting into dangerous territory? The coaching staff is demanding more speed and fewer mistakes, and the pressure is reaching a boiling point. You won't believe what's going on behind the scenes at Berea. Smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let's dive into the latest information right now. The mandatory minicamp for the Browns has officially concluded this Thursday, marking the final time the team will gather on the field until training camp commences in late July. As the organization heads into this summer hiatus, the spotlight remains firmly fixed on the ongoing quarterback competition that has yet to produce a clear leader. According to head coach Todd Monken, neither Shedeur Sanders nor his peers have done enough to separate themselves from the pack during these organized team activities. For Shedeur Sanders, the path forward involves significant homework before he returns to the cross-country mortgage campus in Berea. Monken specifically highlighted that he is looking for more decisive play from the second-year quarterback. While acknowledging Sanders possesses natural playmaking ability, the coaching staff is emphasizing the need for quicker processing times. Monken noted that the ball must come out of his hands faster to effectively eliminate lost yardage plays. This efficiency is viewed as the primary requirement for the offense to stack plays and consistently score. Throughout the three-day session, the need for this development was evident in real-time practice reps. In one instance, defensive tackle Michael Hall Jr. was able to bat down a pass after Sanders spent over 5 seconds in the pocket, eventually throwing the ball directly into the defender's hand. Conversely, another rep saw Sanders hold the ball for 7 seconds, pump faking twice before rolling out to find rookie Denzel Boston. These moments serve as specific examples of the work required to transition from rookie habits to a more refined game. As the Browns prepare for the next phase of the offseason, the Dawg Pound watches closely to see if Sanders can master these crucial timing elements. The fundamental challenge for Shedeur Sanders is rooted in his performance during his rookie season last year. Holding onto the football for too long was identified as his most significant technical hurdle throughout his debut campaign. There were numerous occasions where potential pass plays were left on the field simply because Sanders failed to execute the correct read or lacked trust in his own eyes and arm. This hesitation often resulted in negative plays or checkdowns that stunted the offensive momentum. Why does this matter right now for the team? As the Browns navigate this transition, the ability of a quarterback to operate within the structure of the system is the difference between a high-functioning offense and one that stalls out. Without a quarterback who can process information at an NFL speed, the talent of the receivers and the scheme designed by Todd Monken cannot be fully utilized. Currently, the team is in a delicate position where the quarterback room lacks a definitive hierarchy, making every single rep in training camp high stakes. The development of Sanders is not just about personal growth. It is about the immediate functionality of the entire roster heading into the 2026 season. If he cannot refine his timing, the offense remains susceptible to the same breakdowns that hindered production previously. The coaching staff is clearly focused on this aspect, as eliminating lost yardage plays is deemed essential for scoring. While the team awaits the return of padded practices in late July, the pressure is on Sanders to transform his process. The margin for error is razor thin, and the requirement to get the ball out on time remains the primary metric by which his progress will be judged before the final depth chart is established for the upcoming year. To understand the current state of the Browns quarterback room, one must look at the landscape of the competition. Shedeur Sanders finds himself in a scenario where he is contending for the starting role against relatively flawed opposition. While it is important not to minimize the progress he has made since last year, the reality is that the bar for his competition is lower than many might expect. Sanders has consistently acted as a professional in his interactions with the media and has successfully navigated the locker room dynamics, which is a positive note in his development. However, the objective reality of the situation is that his peers have struggled to establish their own authority in the race. Dillon Gabriel has essentially become an afterthought in the competition just 1 year after being selected in the third round. Meanwhile, the veteran presence in the room has not looked like the high-level player the organization previously expected, failing to display the consistent performance one would anticipate from someone with years of experience. The expectation was that a veteran with significant time in the league should have been performing head and shoulders above a younger player during these controlled settings. Instead, the lack of separation is creating an environment of uncertainty that extends through the entire roster. Todd Monken has been transparent about his own desire to reach a resolution, yet the lack of a clear leader, whether through someone ascending or descending, has kept the position open. This creates a unique opportunity for Sanders. He has not yet reached his full potential, but unlike his counterparts who appear to be struggling to reclaim or establish their form, Sanders is currently viewed as a player whose ceiling remains largely unknown to the coaching staff and the wider public. Todd Monken's perspective on the quarterback competition is as clear as it is direct. He explicitly stated that as much as he would like to make a definitive decision, the lack of separation from any of the candidates has prevented that from happening. It is important to note that the team has not yet engaged in practices against an outside opponent, nor have they donned full pads, held a controlled scrimmage, or played in a preseason game. These factors are critical because they represent the environment where a quarterback's true decision-making speed is tested against live pressure. The frustration from the coaching staff, while not stated as an emotional burden, is evident in the repeated emphasis on the technical requirements for the position. If the veteran contender is unable to distance himself upward, it leaves the door wide open for the possibility that he is actually separating downward. For Shedeur Sanders, this signifies that he is still very much in the fight, provided he can correct the habits Monken has identified. The Browns are waiting for someone to seize the opportunity, but the process has been stagnant throughout the minicamp sessions. The challenge for the entire quarterback group moving forward is to elevate their play once the intensity of camp increases in July. For Sanders, this means proving he can turn the decisive nature he showed in flashes into a consistent identity. The team is not looking for a temporary fix. They are looking for a player who can manage the game, eliminate negative plays, and move the offense down the field. Because no one has claimed the role, the entire summer will be dedicated to finding the individual who can best manage these requirements under the pressure of the upcoming season, regardless of prior expectations. As the Browns look toward the start of training camp in late July, the focus for Shedeur Sanders remains singular. He must bridge the gap between his physical playmaking ability and the mental requirement to process information faster. The fact that the organization has not yet anointed a starter suggests that the upcoming weeks of training camp will be the ultimate proving ground. The Dawg Pound will be watching closely as the team shifts from the controlled environment of OTAs and minicamp to the more rigorous physical nature of training camp sessions. For Sanders, the goal is simple: continue the professional approach he has maintained, while showing the coaches that he has internalized the need to get the ball out of his hands in a timely manner. The team is in a holding pattern, waiting for someone to prove they are capable of leading the offense without the hesitation that plagued the group last year. The upcoming preseason games will serve as the final stage for this evaluation. While the team hasn't reached a decision yet, the expectation for development remains high. Sanders has shown he can be more decisive, but the transition to a consistent starting caliber quarterback is a daily process. As the players disperse for the summer, the work for Sanders is defined by the specific feedback from Todd Monken. Whether he can eliminate the lost yardage plays and show the coaches that he can trust his reads under pressure will be the defining narrative of his second year. The Browns are in a position where the competition remains wide open, and the responsibility to earn the starting spot rests entirely on the shoulders of those in the quarterback room as they prepare for the rigors of the final training camp lead-up.